Hi, Dominique.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
How are you doing?
Um,
Good,
I'm
good, good.
good. I was working earlier, massaging some clients. I had to cover in for one of my coworkers, but other than that, I'm okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you for doing this with my brand, ZenLuxCo.
No
Ooh, it's
problem.
hot. Um, oh wow, I like your earrings.
Thank you.
So for everyone, it's still pretty early in the live, this is part of our wellness check-in and self-care talk series. Where we go live with women of color mainly to check in with them, their favorite ways of self care, what wellness means to them, things like that. So for the people that are on here, as more people join, tell the world. So you're an author, you're a massage therapist,
And I'm a journalist.
um, and a journalist. My
Mhm.
God, that's like a lot of things going on.
Yeah,
So
and then all the other
yeah.
subcategories with writing, researching, reporting, but I'm a big melting pot. A lot of people
I
have to.
I can see that. So
Yeah.
yeah, how did you get into all those things? Like just tell, if as much as you want to share, like how you got into all those
Sure.
things.
I've talked about it so many times. I don't mind. Writing has been my first love for over 20 years. It was like therapeutic for me. Um, my biggest inspirations was my Uncle Ricky. He was a vivid storyteller in our family. And then my cousins, Iyani and Fatima, they were always writers, especially my cousin Iyani. She was just a creative individual. And then it was Teen Summit on BET made me realize that I wanted to have a career in journalism. I wanted print journalism because that was a popular medium at the time. And I
Mm.
just knew that words had power and it had meaning. And I told my mother what I wanted to do, and she supported it from day one. So I was reading a lot. By the time I was 13, I was reading like V.C. Andrews, Gwendolyn Brooks, a lot of Bernice McFadden, the late Eric Jerome Dickey. I was reading a lot of Black authors, Elin Harris, the late Elin Harris. And then
Mm.
with the massage therapy, it started off is to do something different. My parents, they wanted to do something different for their children. We always did well, especially with school. And my mother treated me to a spa day in Manhattan when I was still living in New York
Oh,
City.
spa.
I was 17 years old. I was 17.
Nice.
And after that, I was an emotional high with massage. I was like, yo, this is the part of like my self-care. But it wasn't until my grandmother, my beloved grandmother, God bless her soul, said I was gonna have another career using my hands. I just did like a light compression for aches and pains, and that's when she told me. She said,
Mm.
your hands are going to help people. And like I said, I was a tomboy, so I had like heavy hands, and she was like, that's all right, because those heavy hands are gonna help people. So that's how I got started. And then I didn't go back to
Wow.
school for massage until I was 25.
You need a certification to be like a masseuse,
You
right?
need, you gotta say therapist, massage therapist.
Massage therapist.
I don't mind. I thought I was hot, sugar honey iced tea when I said masseuse when I was in school, but the politically correct term is massage therapist, practitioner, technician, or body worker. That's the politically correct terms because it's what masseuse is associated with, unfortunately, the happy endings and all that other jazz. But you for New York State, because I started in New York State and completed my schooling in New York State. It's a
Mm.
degree and a license, and you need 1,000 hours to graduate.
Wow.
1,000.
Wow.
hmm Other
Is
states
that?
vary. Other
Mhm.
states vary, but New York and Hawaii are the only two states that have separate exams.
Mm,
So with the
okay.
hours that I have, I could also work in Puerto Rico if I want to.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, 1,000 hours. I mean, that is kind of a lot to,
That's a lot. And I've been
yeah.
to college. I graduated from college before, but I took my time with this one because it was a lot of science, a lot of anatomy. It took me 3.5 years to finish.
Your certification?
The license, it's a
The
license.
license, right.
hmm
Three
Um,
years, three and a half
three and a
years.
half.
Wow.
hmm I was just commuting 4 hours alone. 2 hours going to school, 2 hours coming home.
Mm,
And after I graduated in May of 2019, Um, the exams were in August for New York State. And New
Mm,
York State make you wait 8 weeks to get your results. And then I had to take a separate exam if I wanted to work out of state, like Jersey, Connecticut, and it's called an MBLEX. It's a national certification that allows you to work in 46 other states. So you have
mm,
to take that exam if you want to work even over the bridge in
right.
Jersey. You have to take that exam. So I passed that one on the spot. It was computerized, so I knew my results right away. So it's pass or fail. But with
Mm.
New York State, it's old school Scantron sheets, all that stuff. And you're literally, your life is on hold for those 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's
And
very
if you don't
intense.
pass it, you have to wait all the way to January.
Man, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, you're an author as well. I would love
Yes,
to
I
know
am.
how you got into being an author
Um, like I said, it was 7 people in my life that told me I was going to be an author by the time I was 30.
before you even knew you were going to be one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seven
Wow.
people in all walks of my life. So with the John B book, it's called John B. Are You Still Down? If you look in the beginning of my book, I call those people my lucky seven, like
Mm,
dice, like the dice game, lucky seven. And it was those 7 people that told me I was going to write a book. I wasn't even thinking about it.
wow.
My grandmother, once again, she said it when I was 10. I was like, she's like, you're going to be writing books. I was like, okay. And then it was my mother, then it was my grandmother, then it was my uncle, and then it was my Auntie Kim, and then it was my mentor in college. And then the last person who said it before I wrote my book was my god brother Jonathan. Like,
Mm,
said it because I was interviewing artists at this time, and I remember my god sister, his sister. I just finished interviewing John B. And he said, when you have your first book, I want an autograph copy, and I'm like, oh, okay.
oh, that's
So
nice.
I that's why in that page I dedicated to those lucky seven that told me.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. That's an amazing story to
Thank
have
you.
people that care about you in your life,
They just
to
saw the
see
vision.
your potential and saw the
Mhm.
vision, knew
Early.
what was going to be
Hmm.
successful for you before
Yeah,
you even knew it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. So hello everyone that just joined. So now that was a great backstory that you provided. So as you know, you said you wanted to be surprised with the questions, and
Yeah,
I love when that happens. That they like the answers are much more genuine and natural
it's more
than
authentic to me. It doesn't feel so rehearsed. So
exactly
I'd rather find out.
authentic. That's a perfect word.
Mhm.
So now, first question is, how do you find time to hit pause on life and tend to yourself?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Sometimes it sounds so simple, but it's hard. You have to just block out the noise. Like you have to turn down the phone, turn down the TV. I love music around me, especially in the car and when I'm driving, especially as a new driver. I love
Mm,
type of music, all different genres of music, and then there's particular genres that I listen to when I just want to, exit from the day. So there's a lot of gospel
mm,
in the car, there's a lot of R&B in the car, just to relax the mind, and that's all come from my mother. My mother was a teacher, so a lot of times when she had an exhausting day in school, New York City had this radio station called CD 101.9. So it was a lot of
sounds
smooth,
familiar.
yep, there's a lot of
Yeah.
smooth jazz. So that's how I learned a lot of smooth jazz and artists. And then my uncles were big jazz lovers. So I would hear that radio station when she just wanted to just tune out, but couldn't tune
Mm,
out because she was driving.
right.
And I told her this recently. I get why she used to close the door for 1 hour after work because you want to just detox and not bring that negative energy or whatever. It don't even have to necessarily be negative. It's just when you're dealing with kids 5 days a week, six
Mm.
hours a day, and then you got to come home,
To your own kids,
own
yeah.
kids, like you can't return your
Yep.
own kids. So I have adopted, some of those elements for me, especially as a massage therapist. And I have massaged so many different bodies, a large duration of time, and then I still have to do my own individual creative projects as a journalist and working on my next book. It's a lot. So you just have to find time to block the noise. And for me as a therapist, I have to sleep. I have
Mm.
to sleep
Your
because of
rest
work
time.
I have to do. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah, jazz is a very like relaxing, calming genre, but R&B can kind of might put you in a different mood if you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and it really it
But
depends. Like it, because I'm so like a old school R&B. Like,
mm,
so one minute
okay.
I might want some Babyface, I want some Mary, I want some old school Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass. It
Hmm.
all depends. But the gospel helps me a lot, like a
Yeah,
lot of gospel.
gospel
Mary,
and jazz. Yeah.
yeah, BB and CC Winans. Just a lot of those type of genres. Like when I'm feeling good, I want to turn up and maybe put some hip hop on. Like I don't know hip hop today, but that old school like hip hop, like from the
Mm,
2000s. So it depends on my mood. But when I'm just exhausted, like completely exhausted, I already have a playlist for that.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, with everything, with all those titles that you have,
Hmm.
it's good that you prioritize rest. So I'm happy to hear that you
And then
don't get like
I'm
burnout.
also a fiance, so it's like I gotta get into
Oh,
that mode.
congratulations. That's nice. A newly fiance?
Huh?
You said you're a newly fiance?
No, no, I'm a fiance, so it's like I still have to
Oh,
think about somebody else in the household. So like,
right.
and the same thing goes for him. He's a truck driver, so it's like we both
Mm,
have a lot of strenuous tasks as a profession, especially
can
him driving
imagine.
10, 12, 14-hour days, and then
Mm,
you still have to come home to your mate. So
right.
yeah,
Wow, that's good that you prioritize rest. That right there, that's
yeah,
finding time for yourself, literally
yeah.
just resting and
Hmm. Being still,
just
or just being still.
being
Like
still
rest doesn't
mentally
have to
too and
necessarily
physical.
sleeping. You just
Yeah,
resting. Like you're
right.
just tuning everything out. You
Exactly. Exactly. Now, second question is, what does wellness mean to you?
hmm.
This tends to be a hard question with most guests because it's such a broad like
It is a
topic, you
prop,
know?
but you can go on so many elements of that. Well, we all know wellness means you taking care of yourself, but you have to take care of yourself in all realms, mentally,
Exactly.
emotionally, spiritually, even financially. Even financially
Mm,
as well. You have to be
mm,
financially responsible. We all can get up with caught in certain things and ask yourself, I can get this, but is this something that I need versus
mm.
something that I want?
Wow.
So
Right.
that's a form of wellness as well, having better managing money habits, all that as well.
Mm.
But everything starts with the mind. But if your mind is not stable, everything else is going to fall.
Fall
Everything else.
apart.
You have to get that mind in order. Your affirmation's gonna have to come in. All of that is a part of wellness because you can do the physical work, but if
Mm.
that mind is not there, it's obsolete.
It's right.
It's
It's
obsolete.
counteractive.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Most things are mental though. Like you can be even relaxing if you're not relaxing mentally, if you don't like like say, okay, this is my rest time. I'm not going to be bothered with nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can truly just reset and relax in
Yeah.
yourself and recharge. And
Yep.
even it's just the simpler things. Even when you're on vacation, but like your mind is like racing, going everywhere. It's like
Mhm.
it's counteractive. Whatever you do for self care, whatever you do
It
for
kind of defeats the
relaxation. If
purpose.
you're wild like
Yeah.
mentally, it's like
It
it's no
defeats
point.
the whole purpose. And then like if your
Exactly.
mind is not stable and productive, that's how you get an idle mind. That's how you start doing stuff people
Mm,
have no business doing. Um,
right.
then you have to think about the vices. I can't tell everybody vices is different or negative or positive, or even with the positive vices, too much of anything is results in error.
Mm,
You have to properly manage your vices. And if your vices are not, or destructive, then you have to find constructive vices to take
right.
care of yourself.
Right. It's all about balance.
Hmm.
Exactly. It's all
Yeah,
about balance.
yeah.
That's interesting. That's the first time I'm hearing that answer, like being financially well too. Because everyone knows the physical, mental, psychological, but like financial wellness, like
Financial. Hmm.
managing, like having a budget, managing your finances well, like
And it's hard. It's
that's
hard sometimes. You want to spend some stuff, and then
all right.
you
Treat
gotta,
yourself. Yeah,
yeah. You can see in that and see treating yourself is form of a wellness because it is you
it
work hard,
is.
but people abuse that.
Mm,
People
yeah.
abuse that.
Right. And it's
Mhm.
easy to, like, it's
It's
easy.
easy. So
Just take the
easy.
credit card, be like,
Yeah. What?
okay, I'm not
I
gonna,
oh yeah, I could block this and make all these payments and I'll be good to go.
right.
But then you got an emergency coming around the corner. Because you never know.
You
Emergencies.
never
We
know.
all do it. We all do it.
We're
I
all
don't care
guilty.
who tell you. If they tell you they don't, they lie. They are
Right.
a lie. We all
Exactly.
do it, but you have to learn, what is important. How can I do the things that can help me, achieve my finances
Right.
better, especially for me, especially in my early 30s. Like I'm trying to retire like in the next few years. Like I
I
don't
hear
want
you.
traditional retire when I'm 50. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's
Even
nothing
that's
wrong with
young.
that.
Even that's young, retiring at 50.
Yeah,
Because some people don't retire till they're like their mid
like almost
70s.
70.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I retired at 70 and I get Social Security, but can I really enjoy my Social Security?
Not
Like,
really. At that
no,
old age.
no, you can't. So
Can't.
you wanna do the things that's gonna help you, be financially stable for yourself. And if you have children, be more financially independent for your family. So
Right.
that's what I'm thinking about. Like, trajectory moving forward. Even if my fiance and I don't have children, that's something especially him, being financially free. That's
Right.
important. So financial is still a form of wellness. It is.
Right. It is.
Because if
Exactly.
your finance is not right, it can be emotionally and mentally draining. And that
Right.
causes stress. And that gets your hormones up and all of that.
Right.
Hmm.
Let's just be honest, right? If your financials aren't straight, you can't enjoy life. Like everything
Yeah.
requires money. Not to
Yeah.
say you have to like blow a bag to like enjoy the like anything, but
Hmm.
it requires money to enjoy life.
Yes, anything
So
required. Nothing in life is for free.
it's free,
Free. The
right?
only thing that's free is the air that we breathe. That is it. That is it.
Exactly.
That is it.
Right. Exactly, So, right. And that aspect too is wellness. Now,
Mhm.
what are your favorite ways to self-care?
Favorite ways to honestly is sleep. I love my sleep.
I hear you.
Love not doing nothing, resting.
Leisure.
Yes, I'm so serious.
That's
And
good, yeah.
now that I've been driving a lot and recently because I said moving to Virginia, you got to drive versus somebody being a New York City native all their life.
Hmm.
You didn't have to drive. But I got into kickboxing. Kickboxing is a stress
Mm,
reliever for me.
I'm
It
sure it
is. It
is.
is 50 minutes
Wow.
of hard work, but it's a stress reliever for me. It really is.
Right. Any
Yeah.
physical activity is really a good stress
Yeah.
reliever. Even walking 20 minutes a
Yep.
day outside.
And I've been
Wow.
involved with a lot
Kickboxing.
of like recreational activities since I was a kid. Like my parents were very hands on with that. It was like
Mm,
you do these things, you stay out of trouble. You keep your nose clean, you involve like that. You don't
right.
Trouble doesn't find you when you're busy, when you're staying being productive.
True
But
that.
kickboxing is just a whole nother level for me. Like I took an
Wow.
intro class and I started out as a 10 class packet and I just became addicted. I was like, I have to just do
Mm,
shit. Like I was hooked. And then
right.
getting massages myself.
Mm, going
Yes,
to a massage spa or something like
yes,
that.
and
I
getting it
love
self.
a massage session.
Yes.
Yeah. On my personal Instagram account, I promote going to spas a lot because I
It's
love a good
so
spa day.
crucial.
Like, come on,
Hmm.
like
It is.
even right, just treating yourself. That's treating yourself
Mm-hmm.
right there,
Yep.
massages. And if you're very creative and you like are on your laptop a lot for your work, you're gonna have a lot of like back restraints, neck restraints that need to be like just
Hmm.
knotted out. So,
Even as therapists, because we get so caught up taking care of other people that we
mm,
got to take care of ourselves. Like there's gonna be days where your feet is killing you, your legs are killing you. Like especially that's why it's so important for therapists to have the proper body mechanics because the
mm,
movement is supposed to come from the lower body. The lower body has the bigger muscles. So if you're using so much of your upper body, it's gonna cause strain.
right,
And part of that maintaining that functionality as a massage therapist is getting massages, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And telling, and I love sometimes when I had to learn this too in my 20s, learn when to say no.
Oh, I have to learn how to do that
It was for
more.
a long time, Ashley, it was very hard for me because I
Mm,
love being involved with so many things, and but everything
same.
is not for you, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah,
And you're
it's
only one person. You're not an octopus. You don't have 8 legs and all that. Like,
right.
so you burn yourself haggard. Like, you can't. Like, no. You can't attend everything, and you don't have to feel bad that you can't attend everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially when you're like a creative and you enjoy networking to like promote your brand, promote
Mhm.
yourself, you feel like you
Yep,
have to be in, like go to every event, be part
exactly.
of every webinar, like, like just connect with everyone. But like it's like
It,
it can
it,
drive
it
you
can be a war
crazy.
zone. It's like a tsunami that's just waiting to explode,
Exactly.
and I can't. And I was so like that for a
Mm.
long time, and I was like, I can't. Like, I remember it used to get so bad. When I was still living with my mother would close the laptop and go to bed. She's like, go to bed. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, what are you still
Wow.
doing up? Like, she would slam it one
Your
time.
laptop?
Yeah, my laptop and
Oh
slammed it
wow.
and was like,
Hmm.
no, I'm not having, I can't tell you what to do so much because you're an adult, but no, no, you're not going to burn yourself out. And she's
Mm.
like, I started getting these bags in my eyes. She's like, no.
Oh no. Burnout is a real thing though,
Yeah, it
especially
is.
for creators like, me and you, brand
Mm-hmm.
owners.
And for me, it's
Yeah.
my eyes. That's how I feel burned out.
Mm.
It's my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. Yeah. It's saying no. That's, yeah. Especially like you
It's
said,
hard,
especially in your
and
20s, you're like,
I'm still learning. But I've
mm,
gotten better from my 20s to now. I've gotten better, but
right.
it was so hard. It was very
Wow.
hard for
I
me.
can't imagine. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I need to start like incorporating saying no more.
Hmm.
Because the thing is, when you feel you have to be involved with everything, you feel like those things could benefit you. Like if I miss out, I'm gonna
Exactly,
miss out on this
and
opportunity.
that's
I'm
why I
gonna miss
wanted
out
to
on
do it.
that.
Like, I can't miss out. The opportunity
Exactly.
is there, but then
I go through it. Yeah.
that's when you have to use your intuition.
Yeah.
That's when that gut comes in and tell you, okay, like you feel like for me, as I gotten older, I get feeling like for certain things, if this is not feeling for me, this is not rubbing me right, I'm not going. I'm
Yeah.
not going. And it don't even have to necessarily be nothing bad. It's just it doesn't just align with who you are,
Exactly.
what your brand is. So,
Exactly. All
hmm
right. So everyone that's on this live, say no. When you just don't have the bandwidth, you mentally just cannot take
hmm
on something else. Like there's
hmm
power in saying no. So
hmm
wow, powerful. Now, this is a good one. How do you personally cope with stress?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of
Oh,
personal, this question.
no, because I have to cope with stress because I have asthma and eczema. So
Asthma? Oh,
that's inflammation of the skin and inflammation of the lung. So anytime I'm
yeah.
stressed, I already feel like my flare-ups and my creases of my
Oh,
already like that's
wow.
that's a sign of stress. And as a therapist, I get it on certain parts, certain digits of my fingers. Certain phalanges,
Hmm.
I get like little flare-ups.
Like
So that's like
hives? What do you mean
yeah,
flare-ups?
like
Like,
hives, like little mini hives.
oh,
So
yeah,
that's like my body's trying to tell me something. So
yeah,
that's how you are able to cope with it. When you're a lot of times we don't listen to our bodies. Like our bodies are telling us like you need to slow down. You need to regulate this. You need to regulate that. Um,
yeah.
breathing as well, like, calming yourself down, getting out of toxic situations. Like
Mm,
that doesn't help you either. That
yeah.
forms stress too. Like
It
if
really is
somebody is
though.
only serving you these negative elements, why are you putting yourself in that environment?
Why are you
And then,
staying? Yeah.
yeah. And then lastly, another recent thing I'm learning to do, let go of things that you can't control.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's
I am
powerful.
learning that more and more in my 30s and 31. I'm
Mm,
letting go of things that I can't control because I'm such a very hands-on person. I like
mm,
to being top notch, try to put my role and my position in it. It's just the Virgo,
Same.
like,
Oh,
too.
you're a Virgo?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just the Virgo. So it's like, but at a certain point, I have to tell myself, I'm not God. I can only
Yeah.
do
But
but
so
so much.
much. Exactly.
And that kind of,
Yeah.
when I had to get out of that mindset, that helps you alleviate a lot of stress even more.
Mm.
When you let go of the things that you can't control and you sincerely let it go. Even if you got to say it a few times just for you to get it and to grasp it in your head, that's fine.
There's
Because
gonna
you
be
got to tell yourself,
resistance.
you got to do it. You got to say, yo, I can't control this. Like, you know, God take the wheel. Like, I don't, you need me
Jesus,
to
take the wheel.
You have to. You
Yeah.
have to. You really, really have to. Otherwise, it's gonna drive you insane. It's gonna really, really drive you insane. You can't worry about what this person gonna think and what this person gonna do because you're not them. You can only control what you are able to do. If you're able to rationalize the situation and change the situation, then do it.
Mm.
And you have to fill out
Great
the information
advice.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they say, besides financial stress, relationship stress is like the number
Oh
one
yeah.
causer of stress for
Yeah.
people.
And it doesn't
Think,
even have to be intimate relationships. Like it doesn't even have to be the relationship with your significant other. It can be from family. It could be from friends. Still
friends, yeah.
relationships. It
Right.
could be work relationships.
Right. Any, literally, not just romantic, any
Yeah. And
relationship.
people have to get out of that. Like when you
Yeah.
say relationship, it's not just intimate. Like,
Strictly romantic, right?
yeah. It could
Yeah.
be those relationships alone. Like, you know, figuring out if this is even worth pursuing this relationship. How is this relationship benefit me? Like, what is it providing? Like, what is it gaining me? Like,
Mm.
all of those things come into play.
Right. Oof. Words of wisdom right there. I see why you're an author. No, I see it now. Like, just, it comes so naturally for you to say it, to put it into words.
Part of me saying certain things is because what I was exposed to and from my own personal experiences. Like I said, I'm a very perfectionist person. I love things a certain way. I love them structured. I love organized. I love planning.
Mm.
Once again, it's just who I am. But I realize sometimes in life you could plan all day and God is laughing at you like she really trying to do
Right.
she really trying to
Like,
do it. Like,
I'm
no.
gonna put this setback in her path to teach her.
And delay
You
is
can't plan everything
protection.
in life.
Yep. And delay is protection. That is
Hmm.
protection. God, when delay certain things, that's He's protecting you. He wants you
Yeah.
to see something. He wants you to pay attention to something.
Right.
Hmm.
Especially towards like building a brand, like, or whatever, you're creative or whatever. If
Yeah.
you're thinking like, oh, like, why haven't I taken off yet? Oh, why haven't I had my viral moment?
Mm.
Sometimes, like, God doesn't want you to like climb
That mental
fast.
matter to have it. I was
Each
thinking
each
the same
level,
thing.
there's something to learn. But if you
Yep.
climb like fast, like it's gonna get to
You're
your
not gonna
head.
take the time to learn. You're not gonna
Exactly.
know what it is that you're trying to achieve or understand. But I had those moments too when I first started as a freelancer. I'm like, okay, I'm interviewing all these mainstream people while I'm not getting the financial resources or the
Oh,
financial rewards. So
yeah.
it kind of like just really just threw me in a whirlwind and kind of like gave me like a second guess, like, am I actually supposed to be doing this? But then I realized like you gotta crawl before you walk. Like, you know how many people that are successful when you don't know what they had to do behind the scenes?
Exactly. Not all good things. Yep.
And my grandmother always used to tell me once again, I value her wisdom so much, even though she's not here anymore. She's like, you never know who is watching you. You never know who is reading your writing. As
Mm.
soon as she said that to me, Donna's summer niece reached out to me on Facebook and saw an edited
Whoa.
piece I did on her aunt. And then her
Oh,
husband, I was able to interview him a year later.
wow.
So
Donna Summer's husband?
yeah.
Wow.
So if the and I realized this
That's
too.
big.
The rewards may never it don't always have to be financial. It don't always have
Mm.
to be financial.
True that.
It could take you to your next destination. It could take you to your next opportunity. So much that it can do.
Yep. Yep. Wow.
Mhm.
Powerful. Again, powerful. Man. Yeah. So, yeah, any like creatives or business owners, if you're not going at the pace that you necessarily want to, there's a reason for that. And what's that
Mhm.
quote? They say, God is not taking you to the next level because you have to learn something at the level you're at before
Yeah.
you go to the next level.
Yep.
So
There's things that
that's,
you gotta understand, you gotta comprehend,
yeah.
or just like it's not your time, or like I said earlier, it's his protection.
Mm,
It's his
exactly.
protection.
Exactly. Yep. Oof, powerful. Wow. Now, next question. Are you vocal about your needs enough?
I haven't always been, but now I am.
Now you
And I am
are.
assertive. And I'm proud to be assertive. I am. I'm
You
very proud.
haven't always been as of when? Like
Um,
5 years ago or like 2 months
for
ago?
like the last with 10 years ago, when you're just
Whoa.
entering that adulthood,
Mm,
until like my late 20s, I was becoming more assertive,
yeah.
taking charge of my life,
Mm-hmm.
um, demanding what I wanted and being unapologetic about it, because
Mm,
I can demand those things and be respectful. That doesn't make
exactly.
me an outcast or make me notorious or anything. I'm
Or
being respectful
rude.
of what I
Yeah.
want, and either you can't deal with it or you just kick rocks. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because for a long time, I didn't do that because I knew my temper. Like I knew, like I was a very like I had a few names for it. It was Quiet Storm. It was like, you know how you turn the notches on the stove before it still gets heat up.
Yeah.
I was afraid of that to come out. But I
Oh.
realized that you can be assertive and that doesn't have to come out. It doesn't. It
Mm,
doesn't.
yeah.
It
And
doesn't.
for it's best that it doesn't come out
Hmm.
because then it can blow into something else bigger
Yeah.
that you don't want.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
So,
I
yeah.
and there were certain family members that I valued their influence and their feedback and just their suggestions, but I realized sometimes other people's suggestion doesn't work for your type of lifestyle or your type of relationship. They can only tell you
Mm,
from their personal experiences and from the things that they endured in their life. And
right.
then there's other times that they're right. But you just have to take things with a grain of salt. But then you can still be direct and straightforward. You can. But it
Yeah.
took me a long time to get to that. It did.
Yeah. Other people's opinions and like thoughts about your life, you have to take it with a grain of salt
You
because
have to.
only you know how it is to live in your body, to be in your
Mhm.
mind, you know?
And it's a different time now. Millennials, we not trying to do that 30-year like in one career. Like we like
And
Milton.
retire at 75 and not at
Yeah, like it's a
all.
different time period now. So it's like, you have to that's when you have to come within and believe in who you are and let God do the rest. Like you do your work and then let God do the rest.
Exactly.
Yep, you
Yeah.
give your best and let God do the rest. And that's
Rest.
that's my aim for that. And
Mm,
um before I was driving, was a Lyft driver used to tell me, we don't have problems, we have incidents. The only problem you have is when you can't wake up. So you have an
mm,
opportunity to change certain things that you don't want. And that you have an opportunity to figure out things you don't want and things you do want. And what are
mm,
you going to do about that? So when he said we only have a problem when we don't wake up, it's
mm.
true. We
Yeah.
have incidents. We
Wow.
don't have problems. And it made sense. It
Yeah.
made sense. You may have circumstances, you have trials and tribulations, obstacles, but the only problem you have is when you can't get out. You can't.
Wow.
Hmm.
It's sort of like that, that message, every new day is an opportunity to change, like
Hmm.
what you don't like. I forgot like the
Yeah.
quote, but it's relating to that.
And it's like The Otherhood, the movie on Netflix. It says you have the power to change the ending of your story each time you get up in the morning.
Exactly.
You have the power to change the ending or the narrative of your own story. And
Yeah.
that and all of that is all of that is being direct. All of that is being assertive,
Mm,
taking charge of your life.
yeah.
You can do all of that.
Yeah. And wow. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, yeah, because a lot of people aren't happy with their current situation, and
Hmm.
social media is very misleading. Like everyone always posts their highlights. No one
We'll say
really
low
ever
points.
shows
Very
the
few.
low points. Like now, there's some people that post their journey in towards in their journey with entrepreneurship, being a creative, like the behind the scenes, but no one really
Mhm.
shows like their low points when they just don't have the bandwidth to do things, when they're not right mentally. Everyone shows their high points. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I
um,
like to call like my Instagram page, it's a metamorphosis. You see growth, you see
mm,
change, you see elevation, you see my work as a creative, you see my
I
work.
do. Yeah.
It's growth. It's
Mm,
I think that's the best way I can, because people have to understand how did you get to certain things and get to this point, and I'm still
hmm.
climbing. I'm
Right.
still climbing. Like I'm at the tip of the iceberg. That's not
Okay.
where I need to be. But I'm grateful. I could take the time to say I'm really grateful for all the things that I have achieved and have obtained. And I don't forget my day ones. Like I don't forget
Hmm.
my inspirations and my influences and people that got me here. Like you
Hmm.
can't. There's no
You
way.
can. Right.
Every
Right.
student once had a teacher. Every student
Mm,
had a teacher. Like you can't forget your day ones. Like
at all.
even the people that were not in your like profession or field per se, but covered you, supported you, all them mama prayers, all them grandma prayers, like all that comes into
Ancestors.
play. All that come
Yeah,
into play.
I
Grandma's
do.
hands on you. The mama prayers, all that comes into hand
I
to
do.
get to this point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wow. 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 Now, so now this is the last question. With the new year here, are there any positive changes that you want to make in your life?
I was just talking about this with my best friend yesterday. I'm taking charge of my health. I just want to be healthier across the board.
Kickboxing, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
especially,
stepping it up right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
want to take charge of that. And I just want to be healthy across the board. Like I have a lot of things in my family that runs on both sides. Just
Mm.
losing a lot of matriarchs in my family put a lot of things into perspective. Like
Mm.
I lost my grandfather going on 7 months ago. He was 92,
Oh.
had his
Oh.
had his wit,
Mm.
but couldn't take care of him. He couldn't. He was immobile. He was
Mm. That's a
immobile.
long life though, 92. I
Yeah,
mean, God
and my
bless him. That's
grandfather's
still a
been,
long
yeah,
life.
been through a
Yeah.
lot. So it's like I want to leave a mark, but I can't leave a mark and continue to do the things I love if your health is not in order. Your health has to be in order, just mental health, emotional, like everything. Like
Everything.
even if you got to detox some things to make that happen. So that's the
Health
biggest
as
thing.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me, and then especially being in a woman empowerment modeling competition. So health is
Oh.
important in that. So I think that's the biggest thing for me. And then just continuing to take time for myself because as you
Right.
see, I juggle a lot of different things, a lot of different projects. And and from time to time, I still have to tell myself, you are only one person.
Mm.
You cannot be everywhere at once. So,
Right. Right. Yeah. For me, I have like a slim body, but I don't work out at all. Like, cause I'm very tall. I'm 5'11". I'm 5'10" and a
wow, that's
half.
tall.
I'm
Hmm.
very tall. So like naturally taller people have like slimmer bodies,
Yeah.
and people assume like you're athletic, you work out. So that's
Mm,
kind of like a change that I want to make too, is being more physically active.
yeah.
So that's great that you say that.
It's
I'm
like I
trying to
said,
see.
just be healthy. Um,
Eating right too,
Eating
exercise,
right
yes.
too. Like I had to learn 2 years ago how I was eating when I was 21 and 23. You can't eat like that no more.
In your
And it's so
30s,
it's
yeah.
so hard. Like when you doing other things, you got to take contraceptives, all this other stuff, and
Mm,
balancing hormones. That's all stress. Like your
yeah,
hormones are not in balance. That's stress as well. So you have to do the things that's gonna leave you like in that homostasis type of element so you
yeah,
can continue to still do the things that you want to do because even I'm not in my 20s, I'm in my 30s. That's still young, so I got stuff to
yeah.
do. and I have to be in the best shape. I'm like, I'm not even caught up with a size anymore. Like, I want to
Mm,
just be healthy. Like, I
right.
want to go and do the things that I love to do. I'm a very adventurous person. And then I love
Mm.
roller coasters at that. So I have to be
You
top
like theme
notch.
parks, like Six
Like,
Flags
I'm a
and all
roller
that?
coaster fanatic. I am.
Wow. So
I've
you're an
always been that
adrenaline
way.
junkie too.
Hmm.
Okay.
I am. I
What are
love
some
roller
like
coasters.
adventurous things you've done? Like
Um,
besides like roller coasters?
hiking.
Oh,
One of
hiking.
my good girlfriends, we hiked 4 years
Wow.
ago in Cold Springs for the very first time. And it took me
Wow.
a second, but I said, no, I'm gonna finish this. And hiking was the first time I did that. Indoor skydiving. Um,
Oh, that's
yeah,
fun. I've never done that before.
yeah. I
And it's
was a
safer too, I'm sure too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did a boo-wow photo shoot for my 30th birthday.
I don't know what that is. What is
A
that?
boo-wow. So it's like when they go and you put your fancy negligees and your lingerie and your photo shoot. So they call it a boo-wow. So I did
Oh,
that for my 30th. Mm-hmm.
nice. Yeah,
So
30,
it's
turning
something
30.
different. Just
Oof.
revealing your inner sexy, your inner
Mm.
diva. It allows you to do stuff like that. So I
Oh,
love doing
cool.
different things that, challenging you and motivate you. Like, and it's crazy at my spa, I have a salt cave. And I remember doing a salt cave with my girlfriends back in New York,
Mm.
Virginia. And a salt cave, that was something different. So I love
Mm.
doing different things just to, enhance your mind. So because I all come from my upbringing. Like, I came from a lot of family members that love to travel. Like, I have parents that
Mm.
love to travel. My grandparents travel. My uncle was in the Air Force, so it was like
Oh, right, that right there.
expanding
Yeah.
your horizons. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I literally I came from New Orleans like 2 weeks ago. You should look into a festival for women travelers. It's called Wander Fest,
Mm-hmm.
Wander Fest.
Okay.
And it's a festival for women that like to travel. It was in New Orleans, and I went
Okay.
because, like, likewise, like growing up, I was very fortunate to be able to like travel with my parents. I'm the only child, so they just had me. So like, we had like the funds to
Yeah.
do it and stuff.
That was every year, for many years, my we did a summer vacation before we went back to school. It was either late July
Mm,
or early August. It was a tradition
August.
for many years. And then my
Yeah.
first national trip was Jamaica. That was my family reunion. This was
Wow.
2005, and it was
Are
like
you
really
Jamaican? Are you Jamaican? Oh,
no.
okay.
We
Oh,
just went there for
just went there. It's
yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. We went to Montego Bay. It was 25 of us
Nice.
at a
Oof.
resort.
That is
25 family members.
such a big group. Wow.
Yeah, it was 25 of us that really went, had a good
Wow.
time. 8 days, 7 nights at a
Oh,
resort. And
beautiful.
it was life changing. And then having the opportunity to travel internationally as a college student, first class, all expense
Oof.
paid to Italy.
Oh my God. Good for
Yeah.
you. I've never even been to Europe before.
It's gorgeous. It's
I'm
expensive,
sure. Oh my God.
but it is gorgeous. It is
Wow.
gorgeous.
How much
Gorgeous.
was the flight? Like, how
Um,
much, if you know, how much was the
This
flight
was
alone there?
2011, so the flight for 3 weeks at the time, I was able to get a good sale first class. It was like 950.
Oh, that's cheap
Yeah, I
for
was
first
able to get a good
class.
yeah, 950.
Wow.
Nine.
Now there's no way that's happening now.
No, that's why I said that was like 11 years
11
ago.
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Wow.
spoke the language.
Italy.
And my mentor, he was like, "You speak the language, you're studying the language, you need to go to Italy." And I was
That's
just like, "Okay."
amazing. So
And I went.
like you learned Italian in school or like you
Yeah, I
naturally
learned
took
it in
Italian?
high school. I learned it in high
Oh,
school.
okay.
I followed through with it in college. And I told my mentor, I was like, I really want to go. And I remember telling my mother, I was like, I'm going to Italy. She's like, how? With what money? I was like, the school was paying for it. So I stayed
Wow.
out there for 3 weeks and I was able to
That's a
go to Florence.
blessing.
Yes, I was thanking God for that. Like,
That's a blessing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I went
Wow.
to Florence, Rome, and Pisa.
Rome. Yeah. How could you go to Italy and not go to Rome? That's like
Exactly. Like the Colosseum, the Cherry Fountain.
exactly.
Then
So
we actually,
historic.
yeah, we went to a Rhine retreat and
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
Wow.
it was so much wine. That was my first legal drink down there too. First legal
Oh
drink at
man,
20.
that's
That was my
amazing,
first legal
really.
drink.
Like
Yeah.
I can't stop smiling. That's like so amazing. Like,
It was
wow.
life changing when I
That's
got the phone call and my mentor told me I was going. I was like, and then I went the day after New Year's Day. I went. I was on the plane.
January 2nd.
January 2nd. Yep. I was on the
Wow.
plane to Italy. And it
Wow.
was a study abroad class. I was
I
in school.
figured that, yeah.
Yeah, I
You
was in
said three
school
weeks?
with
Yeah.
like 30 CUNY students. So CUNY is City University. It was like 30
Mm-hmm.
of us. We also climbed the cathedral of 463 steps, and you saw the
Mm-hmm.
whole view of Florence. And when I tell you
Wow.
there's food, food, and then with Italy, you could just walk everywhere. We walked,
Right, yeah.
literally walked everywhere
Right,
with
right.
very few transportation. But it was
Wow.
like that's one of the best highlights of my life. 3 weeks that really changed
Wow.
my life, and I just remember all those conversations with my uncle, who was in the Air Force. So he was able to
Mm.
go to Italy and Germany
I
and
know he was well traveled, yeah.
yeah. So he didn't get the chance to see me go to Italy because he passed away. But I remember
Mm.
those conversations as a kid, and then after graduation was cruises. So,
Oh,
like I said,
cruises are nice, yeah.
just being around family, and then my grandparents they traveled. Like my grandparents traveled everywhere. I think until they got sick, they was just traveling
And
everywhere.
that's a luxury that people like undervalue. Like, not
Hmm.
everyone, like not everyone could travel. That's like a luxury to
Yeah,
travel
and then my
for
grandparents used to
anybody.
tell me there's beauty in the 50 states. So you still have
Mm.
other
Even
states to go.
domestically, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. So yeah, those are all the questions, all six questions in total that we
Oh,
asked. I know, yeah, I should make it like eight, but yeah, so far it's only six.
good though. It was a good
Um,
conversation. It was good.
yeah, like I'm so happy that I started the series with my brand. You're actually
Mhm.
the 13th episode, so you're the 13th guest.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's quite, we're growing it. Um,
Awesome.
Yeah, ZenLuxCo, we're still a fairly new brand. I only launched it June 1st of last year, so we're not even a year old yet.
Look at the numbers that you're pulling. Like that's a blessing.
Yeah. Well, I
People.
post every day on Instagram, so that's why that's
Mhm.
like that. I make sure I don't miss a day posting on
Yeah,
Instagram.
that's
Um,
awesome.
Trying to see if there's any questions in the chat for you. Um, but man, whew, so do you have like a website that you want to like pin? Like, do you like where are your books like on like Amazon or something
My
or
book is
like
on my
your
book is
website?
on Amazon.
Hmm.
Goodreads. People can follow me on Instagram. Follow
Right.
me on then. I'll be making a couple announcements through in the fall about
Oh,
so I'm working on my second one. This is my baby. Long time
nice.
coming, but I've been working on this for almost 4 years, and
The
it's
book
about.
that you're releasing?
Hmm.
4 years?
I'm releasing,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
There was a lot of back and forth, creative differences, licensing, all that stuff. And I was able to get a good publishing company that's going to help me with this next book. And this is my baby. I've been working on,
Mm,
but it's a biography, it's a nonfiction. I just love nonfiction. So I'm just a
mm.
nonfiction author. And it's about a female.
Biography about you or oh no, that's autobiography. So a
Hmm.
biography about someone else?
Yeah, it's about a
Okay.
female artist. Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
This time
So
is
you
just a,
can pin, yeah, you can pin your whatever you want to pin
okay.
um, uh, while we're still here. But I don't see any questions in the chat. Um, just people saying like hi and hello and hearts. um, yeah, I don't see any questions.
Hmm.
Yeah, but Dominique, this was such a good chat. Like I can't.
Yes.
And just in case you guys don't know, she also provided uh, a blog post for ZenLuxCo. So
Hmm.
she's a guest writer for us.
Oh,
Such a great blog post, by the way.
thank you.
Uh, Such a great blog post. So yeah, you guys. So if you like type Dominique Carson in Amazon, your book will like
Hmm.
come up.
Yeah, and I just wrote the name of the book just now.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool. All right. So thank you, Dominique,
Thank
for
you.
going live with my brand. I genuinely enjoyed the conversation. Like,
I
it
did
was such
too.
a great conversation.
And it was crazy.
And
It was so last minute. Like it was this
yeah,
literally yesterday.
yeah,
It
because
was
I felt so bad
yesterday.
because I remember when you did the blog post and you were like, "Oh, I would like to do the series too," but then we had like all the Sundays
You already
booked.
had your lineup, and I was like, it's okay. So I just said whenever
Yes,
the opportunity prevail, I'll take advantage of it. And
right.
if it
Because
fits
I
my
don't
schedule,
like to leave no
good.
bad like
No,
energy or
not at
nothing like
all.
that. Like, oh
Not
man,
at
like I feel
all.
bad. I had to say no. So I said, okay, I don't have anyone for Sunday, so let me reach out to her because I know she
Hmm.
wanted to do it. So thank you again for doing this with me and my brand.
Sounds
And
good.
yeah, I can't wait to see like you said your book is coming out fall,
In
so like in a
October.
couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, cool. So yeah, I'll see you on Instagram and what you got
All
going
right.
on and all that. Yes, and today is Self-Care Sunday, so hopefully you indulge in your
I
favorite
am.
ways of
I am. I had to,
self-care.
like I said, I came in, took care of my business for my job, and you got to set boundaries with work. Because if I'm coming to cover for somebody, I need it at this time, and I'm not staying at this time, especially it's my day off. Like I'm not. No,
Yeah.
you have to set those boundaries.
I
Be
hear
respectful, but set those boundaries. You
you.
have to set those
Right.
boundaries.
You have to, exactly.
Hmm.
Okay, so yes, have a good evening and I'll
All right,
see you
you
on
too.
Instagram.
All right, sounds good.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Dominique.